Hey, how's it going, everybody? Ramses Nava here. Really excited to get started on my next topic. Again, if you find any value in anything that I'm saying, please feel free to like and subscribe for more upcoming content. So let's get started. This video is directed directly for agents getting started in commercial real estate. So this is for you guys, and hope you enjoy the video. And again, give me a like and subscribe if you do. So let's get started. Got some notes right here briefly that I'm going to go over, because in reality, what you guys are going to experience, it's definitely going to speak for itself. Now, what I mean by that is the more that you do what you're doing, like in commercial, right? Doesn't matter what product you choose, like what type of real estate you choose to sell or lease, it's going to come down to different experiences in all the fields. So let's go over the different types of products that you can get started with. So at your brokerage, they probably said, hey, let's get started. What do you want to work in? Do you want to work in retail, industrial, apartments, triple net properties? Do you want to do office? Do you want to do land? What do you want to do? And you're probably like, I don't know. If you were like me, you're like, I don't know when I first got started. Unless you already know what you want to do, great. But for those that don't know what they want to do, this video, really take a look at it and understand for yourself that you can go in so many different options. That's why I love commercial real estate personally, because I can do really what I want to do. And I do industrial properties right now, but I started off in retail and office. So let's get started. Let's go over the different types. The difference, I guess, or I'm going to go through just different things that entail in that job. Now, again, I didn't specialize in all of these. I specialize in industrial properties, so I really understand that market a lot more, like in the Inland Empire and surrounding counties. But I have done deals in retail, office, apartments. I've done deals in triple net properties. I've also done land deals, like in ground leases and stuff. So I have a good mixture of just deals that I've done, that I've been a part of, so I can really go over it with you guys. Anyways, retail was fun. So when I started, it was in 2019, right? I started in 2019. It was before the pandemic, before things got crazy. And what ended up happening was I chose retail as my first product or first property to lease or to try to do, right? As far as a business is concerned, like a business plan, right? I did retail and then I did office. So I wanted to do two, retail and office, right? So I was doing a little bit more retail. I was calling shopping center owners and just trying to understand that market. So in retail, what you really have to understand is basically that shopping experience in a way, right? Because mostly retail is shopping, it's destination type, right? That's what retail is, right? You see the stores, you see all these places where people go shopping, that's retail. So retail can be fun, right? I remember going with one of my friends. He used to always like to go with me and look at different retail spots. Hey, this would be good, here. We could do this kind of business here. And he does car washes. So that's my partner. One of my partners, he does express car washes. That's another thing you could do. And he did retail and express car washes. So in retail, you have to understand the shopping experience. That's number one, right? And the owners that you're dealing with, they're typically, mom and pop owners for the most part, unless you get like an institutional type grade retail center, but for the most part, they're just, regular owners or higher net worth individuals that have these properties. And you have to really, I think, in my opinion, before you get into selling retail centers, you want to learn how to lease up the properties. So the thing that you could do is go to owners, go to different, drive different retail centers. And if you like doing that, if you like that shopping experience, then I definitely recommend retail for you. It's a really cool, like I said, to see a business go in there and see it thrive over 3 or 4 years. It's a really cool experience to see. I enjoyed it, so it was nice. Office, again, I did a little bit of office leasing. Now for offices, it was a little different. You do an office and they're just in the building for the most part. Nothing too, I guess, sexy or appealing about it, but there is a lot of big offices that get leased, a lot of places, that need office space, especially near like airports or near different areas, that have a lot of business. typically they need like an office space that has a headquarters somewhere. So going into it, jumping into office, one of the differences is, like I said, it's more just, I guess, an office is like, what kind of office are you doing? Are you doing a medical office? So that's totally different than a regular office, right? Medical office, you're talking about, higher rents on the properties, more tenant improvements. So it's a little bit more that goes into the deal. Now, retail leasing, pretty simple. You can get in, lease up a property and get it done pretty quickly and you're good, right? The only thing with them is, you have to get, help the tenants in cases get like business permits and whatnot. And in offices, they don't have to do that. So in offices, they just come in, they just start working, and they just you can get paid right away on the office space. Typically, you don't need a conditional use permit to get in the office. And with the retail, they do take a little longer on the leases to get signed sometimes, just because you're negotiating for tenant improvements, negotiate with the city, see if they will allow that business there. How guaranteed is it? Do you need a conditional use permit? So just some things to consider, between both of them, retail, office. The other one that you can do is apartments. So apartments and mobile home parks, I guess that kind of falls into the same category. But apartments are just, the way I look at it, everybody needs a place to live. I've known agents that used to sell houses and they transitioned and it went into apartments because it's a natural fit. So apartments are a great product. Everybody wants apartments. They're super hot right now. And if you are selling apartments, the only thing you have to consider is, just know there's a lot of competition right now getting these deals. So if you're going to be going after apartment deals, just prepare yourself or partner up with an agent that's really experienced selling apartments, because what that entails is basically just calling owners, mailing them stuff and just doing guerrilla tactics any way you can to get those listings, right? In retail and office, people are more open to talk to you or give you a chance, because I hate to say it, but there's a lot more office and retail space than there is apartments, for the most part. So they overbuilt, the retail and office sector. So a lot of these places, they're never going to get leased out, So when I did retail, I had a listing, in an office, right? I had a listing that I still have right now. I can't lease the thing up. I just can't, no matter how much I try. The owner doesn't want to fix up anything, and it's just a pain in the butt to just lease it up. So just goes to show you, that was 3 years ago. So I haven't leased that space yet, and that's a listing that's 3 years old. So again, in apartments, if you do get the listing, that thing is gonna sell, and that person is probably gonna go buy another apartment. So you're gonna be in the game, and you just gotta just keep going with it, keep going. The hardest thing is getting your foot in the door and doing deals. But pick one, and if you're like me, I started with a little bit of everything, but for the most part, I did choose one, and I just kept going after it and going after it. Like, I did good in retail. I didn't do too much office, but I did pretty good in retail. And then I went into now what I do, which is industrial. So I guess we can go into that one, which is, industrial properties. I really like industrial properties a lot. And I'm not going to sit here and talk a whole lot about it just because it's not pretty, it's not exciting. The only thing for me that's exciting is that I really enjoy working with the clients that I work with, because most of the people that buy industrial properties are manufacturers. They're people that have trucking companies. They're people that do transport. They're people that do e-commerce. They do automotive, like as far as I love cars. They do they make rims. They manufacture rims. They manufacture car parts. It just goes into all this big, for me, big building type of things. And obviously, in the building size, it becomes into sales prices. Those big buildings, they sell for a lot of money, and we're in the commission-based business. So at the end of the day, if you're focusing and doing any type of product, right, you want to go for those bigger ticket items. And in industrial, we tend to see higher sales, prices, just because of the demand that's been picked up over these past couple of years. Now remember, industrial is not a pretty sector at all. From agents that I have worked with here that have longer experience than me, I'm talking about 10 years in the business, industrial wasn't always the best product to choose. So again, don't just choose something because it's the hot thing to do. I didn't choose industrial for that. I obviously stuck to retail. I really gave it a shot. I tried it out and it didn't work for me. I did apartments as well. I like apartments, but like I said, there's a lot of competition, and for me, it was hard to get my foot in the door. With the industrial, it was easier for me to get my foot in the door, sell some properties, and I had clients that were already looking for that type of product. So that goes into my next point. If you're trying to figure out what you should pick, see where your clients are leading you. You know, if they're leading you towards a certain product, maybe you should start there and then move up from there, you know, depending on what you want to do. So now I'm going to go into the other one, which is triple net properties. So you could do exclusively triple net properties, right? This one is different because in this particular case, triple net properties or sales, you're typically only going to do that, which is, like I said, the sales. So triple net investment sales, right? So that's like selling a Carl's Jr. That's like selling a drive-through something, you know, a Starbucks, whatever it may be. That's a sale already. So, you know, and the other ones that I discussed, which is, you know, the industrial ones, well, the apartments, that's sales too. You don't get really paid for leasing an apartment, but retail, you get to lease and you get to get paid on the lease. You know, let's say you do a lease that's a 5-year lease, which is 60 months, right? And they're gonna pay X amount every single month. Well, you're gonna get a percentage of how much rent they're gonna pay for the whole year. So that's one way to get paid in leasing. Now, you can't do that in apartments because apartments, you're not leasing anything. And triple net sales, typically, like I said, you're doing just the straight sale. You know, the lease is already done. There's nothing that you're gonna get paid on the lease for the most part. So it kind of just depends on what you wanna do. In regards to that, and like I said, you can take advantage of leasing properties. You still get paid a commission almost as if you're selling it. So that's one thing to consider. Now the other one is land. You know, land is interesting because, like I said, you know, there's only so much land that goes around, but it's very interesting because land takes a lot longer to do. So what I mean by that, you can have a piece of land that's like right here on this side of the street and over here on this side of the street, two like right across the street from each other. This one's one zoning and this one's this zoning. It is a value of like 10x difference in price. Same lot size, same everything, other side of the street. That's just the way land is, and it's very interesting. So I've done a couple land deals, nothing, like I said, big in the land space. I haven't done a lot of it, but from what I see is that those properties tend to take longer to sell. So if you're gonna do land, just expect that you're gonna do, you know, a few properties in the beginning maybe, but you're not going to be selling a whole lot of them. From what I have seen, again, like I said, everybody is different when they start. If you have a good mentor in any of these sectors, hopefully you can get busy and get started. So those are the different types that you can go into. Again, to recap, no specific order, but retail, industrial, apartments, you know, triple net properties, land, and office. And again, you know, in retail and industrial and land and office, you can get leasing done, so you can get paid on the leases. You know, apartments, triple net properties, you're not going to typically do a lease there, so you're not going to get paid on that. So just keep those in mind when you're deciding what you want to do. And again, drive your markets, go take a look at the properties, and check out my other videos where I go more in depth on different things you could do to explore your markets and really understand the product that you're trying to sell. Because remember, if you want to be successful, not only in this business, but just in life, you have to be a master at what you're doing. So master what you're doing, pick one and go with it and give it your all. And again, comment if you have any questions, email me below, and please like and subscribe, share with your friends if you guys found any value. Thanks, have a good day.